Oh, I have a question. So, I paid someone called Houseline. They've got something that's supposed to be an app. Do you know anything about Houseline?
I have to admit, I do not.
Okay.
The thing with apps is that if you look at, I mean, the comparison is this. If you think about the website, the web world of the last 10 years, if I said, hey, I've got the 50th most trafficked real estate website in the country, you would probably think, well, that's pretty good. Like that must have a lot of users.
No, I would think no one's using it.
And well, no, the 50th biggest website is still pretty significant. And that might be, who knows? It might be the Caldwell Banker site. I have no idea. And it gets hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people using it. On the mobile, if I said the 50th largest real estate app, literally nobody uses it. So all of the activity in mobile is in the top 5 or 6 apps that have hundreds of thousands and millions of downloads and users. And so having an app that's farther down that list is basically useless because nobody's downloading it, nobody's using it. It's essentially just a vanity project where you're doing it to say I have an app.
Right.
It doesn't functionally help you.
No, the photo part of it isn't as exciting for me as the part where now there's an app on the phone where I can actually get my back end MLS data
Yes.
right there and have it look a little bit better.
Of the two, Al
Searching
Roker was
through.
far more impressed with the fact that you could take a picture of it. So to each his own.
Yeah, the picture, I don't know about the picture. I think that's cute. I think it's probably meaningful in some situations, but I probably would.
Well, I agree with you, but
never
here's
use
a
it.
good example why it is valuable, which is it's valuable for the reason you just said. It's not necessarily valuable because you're going to do it hundreds of times a week. Although I'll tell you that our pro users, it's the second most common thing that they do. But with that said, the reason it's powerful is if you want to send Homesnap out to 1,000 of your contacts, right, only a few of those people are actively looking for homes. The reason 14,000 agents in the DC area have invited 500,000 clients and consumers is because the app is more than just an IDX active listing search app. It does this other cool stuff. However you just described it as.
And it's personally branded to them.
That's what people want. It might not be what you want, but that's what the people in your address book want.
But guys, it's personally branded to the agent that sends it to them.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's the cool part.
That is cool.
They got their photo, their name, their company logo, everything on the app.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's good, and it's free.
There's a chance that those people will actually use it. I mean, because sending it to people who aren't in the market, sending your IDX app out to people who aren't in the market for a house has no benefit to you. They're not going to use it.
So let me talk about the 800-pound gorillas for a moment. You're like a 100-pound gorilla. You're like a chimp,
Thanks.
right? Yeah, but you're getting there. What about Trulia and Zillow? Did they see you and say, wow, we can do that too and no big deal? Or are they concerned because you have a patent?
Well, I mean, I think
What should we expect from them to, sort of counter your initiative?
Sure, I don't know. I mean, we do, so they probably shouldn't. But that's not something we sit around and worry about. I mean, I think we're in a very different business, right? Those guys are trying to get a gajillion eyeballs and sell back impressions on your listings to agents. We are trying to create an agent-friendly environment that has tools that agents themselves will use. And to me, that's the big difference, right? Those guys are not making tools that agents use themselves.
Yeah, they're not making friends either.
Right, but even that's part of the reason is they're not making anything that you want to use.
Right.
All they're doing is trying to sell you spots on your own listings back to you, right?
What do you think of the whole reviews and number of transactions and all those metrics on the profiles on these sites? Because on your site it does exist.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like as long as the agent is doing it on purpose and wants to have those things, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think the system is never going to work where it happens automatically, and the agent doesn't have some level of control over it. And so when we've talked about features like that on Homesnap Pro, we always talk about them as something that's optional, where the agent can get reviews from the clients that they want. They can monitor them. I mean, it's not there's not some government agency who needs to be automatically reviewing every real estate transaction.
Right. So MLS PIN, for example, is not part of Homesnap yet, but yet when I looked at my area outside of Boston, I see agents that have the reviews already on Homesnap, and they already have numbers of transactions. The reviews I get, they're asking presumably past clients to write reviews for them.
Yep.
But for transaction numbers, if it's not already pulling that information from MLS, how are those numbers getting there?
Well, in this case, for those individual agents, we're able to do that, but it's not for the whole. It's not for the whole market, if that makes sense, right? So just for the people that are already in there.
So if I sign up, you're able to pull my MLS data.
Correct.
I see. Okay. I'm good.
And what we're moving towards Homesnap Pro is where we'd have all the data, and it would be available to all the agents automatically for free.
Excellent. Okay.
Guy, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank
Hopefully
you,
we'll
Guy.
get you to MLS PIN.
Yeah.
right, well,
I'm looking for that referral. Thank you.
But
And we'll have you on again someday.
well,
sure.
after we get MLS PIN on board, we can have it'll all make a lot more sense, and we can have another conversation.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, and have a nice holiday season.
You do the same.
Okay.
Thanks.